Today was a very hard parenting moment. Today, my daughter, we're on our way to school. She tells me, "Mom, I thought Uncle Blank had a house because we've driven Uncle Blank and dropped him off places before. But no, Uncle Blank," and she's 7, mind you. And the way I explained it to her was Uncle Blank didn't make good financial decisions. I used it as a teaching moment to explain that mommy has rules in place at home for a reason. One of which is to prepare you for the rules in everyday life. Because if you don't follow certain rules, certain things can happen. I explained that whether or not you own a home or you're renting, there's electric, there's water, and maybe sewer and trash, and etc., etc. There's bills that have to be paid to prevent you from being homeless. My daughter got a harsh reality check recently when she discovered that Uncle Blank was homeless and lives in a tent. Uncle Blank comes by and does his laundry, gets something to eat, and I know there's going to be a bunch of Karens that immediately want to tell me, well, if Uncle Blank is doing drugs or illegal activities, then that's why he ended up how he ended up. But I'm going to base this scenario because I did have a client that fit this one. But I'm going to use the scenario that I gave my daughter this morning. Sometimes an emergency happens and you have to pay something that you didn't plan for. And sometimes you don't make enough money for a situation like that. And sometimes if you get behind on a bill, and then you get behind on another one, and then you get to a point where you just can't come back, you could face being homeless. With that being said, while we're having this conversation, I drive by a specific spot where we live, where typically the homeless stay. However, with the new no camping ban, which means if you're homeless, you cannot have a tent or sleep on public property. What's happening is you're going to get a verbal warning and a chance to be flown, shipped, bust, whatever, out of our city. And if you don't leave because you have nowhere to go, and that's partially why you might be homeless to begin with, then the next time you're found being homeless, they are going to charge you a $100 fine. And then if you're caught any time after that, it's a $500, on top of all of your belongings being thrown away. The spot that we drove by this morning is a creek, and I saw somebody struggling to get their damaged belongings up the big hill by themselves. Now, granted, I would never take my daughter to a situation that I didn't know about, and I didn't know this person from what I could see from the car, so I didn't stop. I had to get her to school. On my way back through, if I see them and they need help, I will probably stop and offer. But my question is, where the hell the people in charge, or the people that hold power, or the cops, or whoever decided, hey, you know what? When it comes to the homeless, first and foremost, key word in that sentence, homeless, but let's make it even better for them by destroying everything they own and throwing it away. I don't know if maybe they need a harsh reality check, or they need to lose everything, and then the little bit left that they do have, someone destroys. due to the fact that they're homeless. And I don't want to hear the typical, well, if they're on drugs, they deserve it, or it's their fault, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. If you're homeless and you already have nothing, and the little bit of property you do have, imagine, like, either waking up or coming back to your, what's supposed to be only safe place you have, to find all of your belongings, A, either gone, B, destroyed, or a fun game that the cops here like to do is mix everybody's stuff up and put it in one big pile. So they're losing stuff because if it's all mixed up, people are going to grab what they want. It just blows my mind that a human being can see another human being in a situation that nobody wants to be in, and a thought in their head would be to destroy their things or throw them away. Not everybody that is homeless is on drugs, has a drinking problem. Sometimes it's a mom with kids and she got behind on a bill, and then while trying to make up on the rent, she got behind on the electric and the power, the electric and the water too. Not every situation is the same. But regardless of their reasoning, nobody deserves to come home to their stuff destroyed, gone, or mixed up in one big pile like they don't matter. They are still human beings. Now, Uncle Blank is a good guy. He would give the shirt off his back to somebody if they needed it more than he did. Now, his decisions are not the best. And you're probably wondering, well, if you're so empathetic for Uncle Blank, why doesn't he live with you? Like I said, I just went off a scenario I gave my 7-year-old. Everybody makes their decisions and everybody has their story. And my first and foremost is to keep my daughter safe and not allow her in situations that might make it unsafe. I do not judge Uncle Blank for what he does. I'm just being a person I want my daughter to be. Now, she knows not to talk to strangers. And she knows I will tell her if we know somebody or not. The least I can do for Uncle Blank to make his life a little easier is to let him do laundry, come and have dinner with us, or give him a ride somewhere because it's getting cold. Our community doesn't have a lot of support, and there's not enough shelters. I just want my kid to be a good person, and the only way she's going to be a good person, like a genuine good person, is me leading by example. Now, if things changed and Uncle Blank was ready for a different lifestyle, then bet your bottom dollar he would have a place to stay. But my kid comes first. I just want to know if anyone else agrees with me. If somebody already has nothing, who the hell gives anyone the power to throw their things away, destroy them, or mix them all in one big pile, knowing that people are probably going to steal their things? If you're that person that got behind on bills and you were sweating bullets and you really did fear what was going to come next, imagine yourself in a situation like that where it didn't work out. You did lose everything, and the little bit you did have, somebody gave the cops the authority to destroy your stuff or throw it away. When did our world decide that our police can be horrible human beings? And I will say it's not all. We do encounter, it's very few and far between, we do encounter some good ones. And I know the actual cop doing said destroying, mixing up, whatever have you, throwing away, I know that they are probably being ordered by someone to do so. And that's the point. Like, who gives them the authority to tell the cops to do these horrendous things? But I will say, too, though, I have heard that some cops here find it funny. They enjoy doing it. Not all cops are bad. One of my childhood friends I grew up with is a cop, and she's a damn good one. But a lot of the times when I've encountered cops, I always got the bad egg, it seems. I don't know. This is kind of just like a rant. I'm not trying to say police are bad, because they're not. Not all of them. I just think it's a problem that the people who hold the power are condoning acts of being horrible human beings. There's somebody's stuff bagged up and the trash is probably scheduled to come get it. Why?